Well, good morning everybody. It is a beautiful Saturday morning here. I think we're the 18th of May at the moment. Yeah, 18th of May. And I brought you down here to the waterfront, to the more northerly end of Liverpool's waterfront, to the Prince's Dock area, which shares its location with the cruise liner terminal here in Liverpool. And you can see we've got a large cruise liner docked today. Not sure how long it's going to be here for. So I've come down today with the EM1 Mark II and a couple of legacy lenses, as well as the 12 to 40. Now the 12 to 40 is really just to sort of cover myself, to be honest with you. Apologies for the noise coming from the background there, if you can hear it. What I really want to do is to try out a couple of legacy lenses that I've bought recently, and I'll just show you. First of all, we have a fairly unusual one from Pentacon. If you've watched my earlier videos, you'll know that I've sort of compared the Helios 44-2 with the Pentacon 50mm 1.8. Well, this is another Pentacon lens, and it's the Pentacon 30mm 3.5, which is quite a useful focal length for me on micro 4/3, 60mm equivalent. So I'm quite curious to see how this performs. For those of you that own an earlier version, you may know it as the Meyer Optic Gorlitz Lidith, which is the same lens. It was renamed once Pentacon bought out and took over Meyer Optic. So that's one lens, preset, nothing fancy, but it does have a good reputation. So I'm quite keen to see how that performs. Now, the other legacy lens that I bought with me has more of a reputation. Just let me remove the orange filter that came with it. I only picked it up yesterday. And it's this. This is the famous Super Takumar 50mm f1.4, which came as an option with many of the 1960s vintage Pentax cameras. The Pentax Spotmatic, and I actually got this complete with a nice mint Pentax Spotmatic locally, which was rather nice. I'll go into detail about these lenses probably when I get back to base, kind of thing. We have lots of little midges flying around at the moment. Damn nuisance. Anyway, why have I come down here? Well, apart from wanting to try out these two lenses, for those of you that saw my earlier video on the Exchange railway station, I made a complete boo-boo, really, in as much as I completely ignored the fact that we did have yet another mainline railway terminus station here in Liverpool, and it is the Riverside Station, aptly named because it stood right here by the landing stage for the incoming and outgoing liners, and it was accessed via two tunnels up to Edge Hill and then beyond. And it's famous because during both World Wars, literally millions of Commonwealth and British soldiers left here. There's a lot of history attached to it. I'll try and put up some photographs so you know what the place used to look like. There's a lot of construction work going on down here, and if I just turn the camera slowly around, I want to give you an idea of where we are. You can see the Liver buildings in the distance over there. So what is actually left of Riverside Railway Station? Well, absolutely nothing apart from, I'm just going to show you, the railway line that used to take locomotives into and out of the station. So I want to try and get a little bit creative with these and see what I can generate with these two legacy lenses, making use of shallow depth of field, all that kind of thing. And then I'll probably do some shots as well with a 12-40, just so that I've got everything covered really. And then we will head back towards town, southerly direction, past the Liver buildings, and see what else we can grab shots of down there. So I'm going to take a couple of shots from this sort of location here with both the 30mm Lidith and the 50mm Super Takumar, just so you've got a comparison between the two with regard to field of view and also apertures and depth of field. And there we have the new Isle of Man ferry terminal. And there, as I'm sure you can see, is one of the old landing stages come jetty, now in a very precarious condition. And all of this is scheduled to be upgraded and modernised in the near future. Not until you get alongside these cruise liners that you realise just how massive they are and how much weight there must be sort of low down below the waterline, because there are what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's about 8 or 9 decks full of cabins. Amazing. Anyway, so we'll leave Celebrity Silhouette to her thing, however long she's here for. Just going to take a quick look at the Princess Dock footbridge, which again, it's something I've photographed before, but not with legacy lenses like this, so I'm quite keen to see what we can get with these. Well, we're going to scratch that idea of photographing the Princess Dock footbridge, because today there is a, what do they call it, a biathlon, triathlon, which involves swimming and running, so a biathlon, I guess. And this is obviously the finish line for it here, so there's going to be too many people around for me to get anything constructive. If I find some of the existing photos of it, I'll put them up for you to have a look at. But now we'll move on again. Just before we move on, I thought I'd try a couple of shots using this sculpture here in the foreground, which is basically fishing nets recovered from the sea. Quite a nice idea, but I've taken a shot with both the Lidith and the Takumar through the gap there with the cruise ship superstructure in the background. So I'll be quite interested to compare those two. It's actually called The Sacred Return of Lost Things. So there's floats and all sorts of stuff in here. And then just through there you can see all the athletes that have just finished their swim and run. Quite interested in the steam / smoke coming out of this thing. So I've just done a couple of comparative shots there with both the Super Tac and the Lidith. Well, sorry, the 30mm Pentacon. And the passengers have just started to disembark, so I guess it must have arrived overnight. And now that everybody's been suitably fed and watered, they're going to have a look around Liverpool. I'm sure you've heard church bells ringing during sections of my vlog. I'm guessing somebody's getting married, and it's the parish church is just over yonder. That's why they're so loud. Well, as we move around the corner from the parish church ringing the bells out, we're just outside the Liver building and heading back towards base, as it were. Will I have got anything eye-catching? I don't know is the answer. But I think, in all honesty, that's half the fun in using legacy lenses. If not in this video, then in one of my next ones, I'll give you a complete rundown on the Pentax Spotmatic, its history, and these wonderful lenses. So for now, from Liverpool waterfront, in front of the Cunard building now, with the Liver building in the background, I'm going to say enjoy your photography, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye for now.